What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Reformed Reader, the channel where we review different forms of media through the lens of a Christian who is under the authority of the scriptures. My name is Josh, and today we're just going to hang out and do our monthly check-in. So let's start with, what did I read this month? Well, I am happy to report that this month was a much better reading month than last month. So I started the month out with Darth Maul Shadowhunter. Now, I meant to finish this up at the end of March, and I just didn't get it done in time. So I finished this up, I think, the first few days of April. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time with it, and it sort of rekindled that love for Star Wars, which I didn't really think I was ever going to get back. So yeah, it was really good. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm looking forward to diving more into the Star Wars Legends books. And then I jumped into Guard in the Garden by Z.S. Diamani, and man, this was exactly what I needed for this time. It wasn't a very thick book. I think it was only like 200 or 300 pages, and it was this cozy fantasy, which I'd never read anything like that before. It was just exactly what I needed. It was a 5-star read. I can't recommend this book enough. I absolutely loved it, and I have a dedicated review of it up on the channel. Fantastic. Then I read Monster Hunter Vendetta. I listened to most of that on audiobook, but I finished that one up sometime in the middle of the month, maybe about a week ago as of the time of recording this. Then I didn't really have a whole lot of motivation to pick anything up. I tried jumping into Z.S. Diamani's other books, and I just still wasn't really in the mood for fantasy, and I didn't really know what to reach for. And so I went to my local secondhand bookshop, and I found several of Greg Hurwitz's books, the Orphan X books, and my friend Ted has just been raving about these books. So saw them in there for pretty cheap, so I picked them up, and I had some in-store credit. Didn't really have to pay anything. So I picked those up, and I read Orphan X. Whoa! Man, this was good. It was, again, what I needed for the time and kind of the mood that I'm in. I just haven't been in the mood for fantasy, so I just was looking for something outside of my wheelhouse. And this was, I kind of labeled this as Jason Bourne meets Batman.
So that's what that feels like.
So instead of Jason Bourne being pursued, imagine if Jason Bourne is actively pursuing bad guys. He's looking for people that need help, that need somebody to come and rescue them, but he has the budget of Batman. That's kind of what this book is. It was fantastic. I'll have a review coming up pretty soon on the channel of book 1. I really enjoyed it. And then, sort of to cap the month off, I didn't really know where to go from here. I was supposed to start Count of Monte Cristo with my wife, and just really haven't been in the mood to pick up something super thick. So we've pushed that back to the end of next month. So I was like, well, we've only got a few days left. I really didn't know what I wanted to read. And so I just went ahead and picked up the novella that is between books 1 and 2 of Orphan X. Really, really enjoyed it. And I think that has sort of encouraged me to go ahead and read book 2. Because again, these aren't really thick books, and they're these fast-paced, I've labeled them as like these high-octane thrillers. That's really kind of what they are. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and jump into book 2. So I don't think I'll be able to finish that up before the end of the month, but I think that's what I'm going to jump into. So I read 4 novels and 1 novella, so I'm just going to say 5. That's how I count them. I count everything that I've read, whether it's a DNF or not. So I've read 5 things this month as compared to last month. I barely read 2 or 3. So yeah, a much better reading month this month. So that leads me into, so what am I going to read this coming month? Well, like I said, I'm going to jump into The Nowhere Man, which is book 2 in the Orphan X series. Then I'm going to read Kenobi, the Star Wars Legends book. I'm going to be doing a buddy read with Matt over at Go Reads Books. I think we're going to maybe discuss this in June. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to jumping into this one. And then I know that I'm going to read The Count of Monte Cristo. Those are the only 3 that I have for sures that I'm going to read. And then on top of that, I have the 3rd Monster Hunter book, which is Monster Hunter Alpha, which that's going to be my audiobook for the month, at least for the time being. Even though it seems like I'm only going to be doing 3, maybe 4 books, The Count of Monte Cristo is super, super thick. I wanted to make sure I had plenty of time to be able to finish that up, hopefully by the end of the month. It doesn't bother me if it bleeds over into June. But yeah, those are the things that I have in stone. Is I'm going to finish Orphan X 2, then Kenobi, then The Count of Monte Cristo, and then I'm going to listen to Monster Hunter Alpha. And then if I finish with those in my maybe pile, I have the first book of the Raya Revelations. I know I've talked about wanting to get into those. I just haven't been in the mood to jump into fantasy lately. And so I'm hoping that Rhaenyra is going to reignite that fire for me to dive into fantasy. So I've got that as, if I finish these, this is kind of the fantasy that I'm going to jump into, because I've heard it's sort of that, it's almost like a buddy cop of fantasy. Sounds good to me. Really looking forward to it. And I know there's like 2 or 3 books in each volume. I've got them right here somewhere. So I hope to jump into that. And then another one on my maybe list is another Star Wars Legends book, which is Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader. And this is one that I'm going to be doing a buddy read with some of my close personal friends. I'm not really sure when we're going to start that one, so that's why I have it in the maybe pile. It might be this month, might be next month. But yeah, I've got that one keyed up and ready to go for whenever they're ready. So yeah, not too crazy. It's not too busy, but that's kind of how I like it, because again, I read for fun. So I'm not going to set unrealistic goals, and I'm also not going to put stress on myself to try to finish things just for the sake of saying that I read X amount of books at the end of the year. I don't really care. I'm much more of a quality over quantity reader. I would like to hit my goal of around 40 to 50 books for the year, but I'm already halfway there. So I'm not really all that concerned about it. So that leads me to what's going on this month on the channel. So this month on the channel, we put up 9 individual videos and 7 shorts. And so out of the 9 videos, I mean, I put out 5 individual book reviews, which seems like that's why most people are coming to the channel, is for my reviews, because they like the content warnings. So I want to make sure that I put out as many individual book reviews as I can, and less of like the top 10 lists and those kinds of things, which those are great. I love watching those. Those aren't really my thing, because I don't read enough to have top 10 lists change and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes, you know, and they're fun to do. And I know people ask. So I'll put some videos like that out periodically, but I definitely want to focus on doing book reviews so that I can give those content warnings to you guys from somebody that's already read the book. So maybe you don't have to dive into something that you're worried about, or maybe I can ease some of those concerns and maybe you pick one of those up. But yeah, that my focus is to stick with doing as many book reviews as I can. And then I did 2 videos of my bookshelf tour. And then I did 1 video, which was 7 books that I should have DNF'd, but that I didn't. Yeah, that one was a tough one for me, because it was one of those things where I'm like, do I put this out here? Do I let people know some of the things that I was entertained by and that I'm ashamed by? And I really thought long and hard about it. And I thought, yes, because I think there's other people out there that have dealt with similar things and maybe struggle with some of these things, where we will be entertained by sin, and even though it bothers us, we decide to power through for whatever reason. I definitely think that we ought to be listening to our consciences more and not less. And we shouldn't be suppressing our conscience telling us or condemning us for being entertained by certain things. Instead, maybe we should just not be entertained by those things. So yeah, I put that one out, and that one was interesting. I've got more. I just don't know if I have enough for another video. So I may put those out, you know, some other time. But yeah, that was an interesting one. And then the last update is that we hit 500 subscribers this month, which to me is just, it's just crazy. Thank you guys so much. It is awesome. It is humbling. It has also made me really think about the content that I'm putting out and really think about what I'm saying before I put it out there publicly. Okay, so normally this is where I do my little book haul for the month, if I have anything. And this month I just received too many books. So I'm going to do a dedicated video of my book haul for this month. It was pretty crazy. So look for that coming really soon. And lastly, guys, TV and movie talk. My wife and I have really gotten into this show called Taskmaster. It's a BBC show. It is free on YouTube. They have every episode for free on YouTube. I do want to make sure to give you a warning and let you know that only the first 2 seasons are censored. The other seasons are not. So just know that going into it. And just because they censor certain curses does not mean that they censor certain innuendo and things like that. So just know that going into it. But my wife and I, we, you know, because I've had such a reading slump as of late, and she kind of has too, we've just really been looking for something that we can both just sit down and enjoy watching together because we haven't done that in a while. Normally, one of us is reading and the other one's watching something, or we both end up reading. And now we're in the same room and we're sitting beside each other, but we don't usually sit down and like watch TV together at the end of the night after we put the kids to bed. So this has been a great show for us to be able to just sit down and laugh together at the end of the day and just sort of decompress. So Taskmaster, apparently we're late to the game because it's a very popular TV series, but man, it is hilarious. So yeah, other than that, it's been a pretty relaxed month. I hope that this coming month is going to be similar in productivity as far as the channel goes. I'm talking about as far as me putting reviews out goes. I hope to get another 8 or 9 videos out. I still am shooting for 2 videos a week, one on Sunday and one on Wednesday. Thankfully, now I've recorded a bit of a backlog so that way I can make sure that I'm not stressing myself with recording videos and then editing videos and then making sure they get out. Because there was a couple this past month where I had to edit them, render them, and post them within about 20 minutes of it going live. So that's just unnecessary stress that I put on myself, and I know that. So it's been nice to kind of have a bit of a backlog of these videos so that way I can make sure that I'm still putting out content consistently for you guys, but then also not overworking as far as editing and those types of things. But yeah, it's still been super fun. I've had a lot of fun making fun of myself through these videos. I hope you guys have had as much fun making fun of me with these videos as I have. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to another month of hanging out with you guys. So thank you guys so much again for watching, and I will see you on the next one.